as we get into global warming, all communications are setting into everything through nature core division level system. Galaxy location centers are opening up. Algorithm programs are setting up. It's knowing how to communicate with the grounds. It's knowing how to communicate with anything through the power centers, which is you, through calculation, modification, integration, take it out of the end of its equation. Understanding locations of yourself is understanding everything through the nature of itself, which is its atom through its connection. So nature is coming into its new callings of new voicing grid patterns. Okay, so I think really you have to understand when you see these things, it's understanding everything through its connection of its atmospheres, coming into the hemispheres, coming into the stratospheres. It's all about everything through space and time through its connection, because everything's on a time co-frequency level through its mechanism system. So everything is on realm connection division level system. Humanity is coming in digital format through dream set location system. This is going to center core everything through traction division. The global warming through its connection with all atmosphere system, northern, western, southern, eastern hemispheres. All that connection through its location is changing everything through the metrics systems, coming back into zero, resetting all locations to divisions. Time frequency level code system, everything through calculation modification. So, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. It's very important that everybody gets this message. I keep giving you messages on upper hand of what's going on through calculation. Everything through the metric system is understanding distance of locations. So it's knowing how nature communicates with the trees, how trees communicate with the grounds, how the grounds communicate with structures and buildings. Everything connects into one cycle, one system, one location. Now, it's very complicated stuff because everybody is connected through shapes, anomalies, and anything through letters, frequencies, and all those connections. So it's all about humanity coming into higher atmospheres, right? Coming out of that atmosphere and coming into the hemisphere system. Because the global warming system of the fifth dimensional system is reaching higher locations of radiation cycles through the sun. So basically, take the dimensional Earth, right? And you have the sun interface. So basically, all the dimensional Earth is doing right now, it's high rising and it's coming into more radiation. Okay? So everything is on a time co-frequency level. Humanity has to understand everything through all connections. I sent you guys a video yesterday about global warming, the countdown. Everything going back to zero. That's all about humanity. Everything through, connections to, you got the agriculturals of farms and stuff like that. You got the carbons and you got the fossils and the fuels and all that. That's the problem. That's the issue. Is because it's been destroying all evolutions of grounds and everything through soil and everything through those containments of centers and anything through calculation. So when you understand that we're coming into a new voicing grid pattern of colorations of metric systems into connection. It's extremely powerful stuff, right? Everything connects through a map frequency level system through connection of space and time. That's what space is. It's all connected through maps. So it's kind of like going through a maze or trying to find Waldo, You look at that picture frame and he's in there, but where is he, right? Finding Waldo. It's the same thing with the matrix. Where are you in that division through location? You have to find your point center. So you have to line communicate everything through humanity's system, change your location centers, change the atmosphere system, put it in the digital framing system, the body conceptual system. That uprises their divisions into all location centers. So nature is coming into a new calling, a new coloration, a new voicing pattern, and a new psychop division through calculation. So it's upwinding its cycles. And humanity is going into new callings too when it comes into their digital frames. Coming into more protection of lights, coming out of the atmospheres and coming into the hemispheres, right? So it's all about humanity high rising, right? That's what we want to do, is we want to get humanity into that division because the dimensional Earth is high rising, right? And when it's high rising, it's coming more into the sun interface. So it's kind of like, it's like a heat box. And right now, the global metric system of the dimensional Earth is going to be on radiation cycles or rotation centers, which comes into law of connection, right? Because you have to understand everything through all levels of the sun interface, right? Because the center core system is it's liquid formation. Remember, I changed that core system. Well, the core system is actually going through its patterns through its nature core system, and it's connecting to all divisional levels of voicing grid patterns, like I said. So it's all about resetting, okay, resetting vibrations, energies, and frequencies, and harmonic resistance of intelligence. Better communication with everything. Better communication with nature. Better communication with soil. Basically, it's understanding taking out all those combinations when it comes into carbon, stuff like that, getting out of the out of the fossil fuels. I think it's very important you guys watch that global warming countdown. It's like 6 hours, and it talks a lot about nature. It talks about we have to reset everything back to zero, okay? Because, like I said, we're coming into calculation modifications through matrix locations. Now that's all back to zero, but humanity isn't. So it's on a time clock frequency level system. Now we're in that zero aspect, but it's all about the countdown with humanity. So you understand the atmospheres and how they work through all locations when it comes into diversion. Diversion is everything because it's on direction, and it basically it relocates anything to allocated positions. It puts everything into the nature core, the energy core, the self core of its system. So it's all about humanity connecting with themselves through the grounds, powers, and atmospheres. So it's coming into better traction, better division, better location, okay, and better communication, right? So all of these are connected through the central systems of all connections of planet locations and anything through that core system. So it arrives in so many levels of electronic interference, right? Jules, how's it going? All right, so basically this is what it is. Now, let's just say that you have the sun interface, right? It's like this, open the cycle of rotations. Now it's going through its answering patterns. So it's kind of like this, right? And then you have the dimensional Earth, like this. Okay, this is the dimensional Earth. So basically what's happening right now, the solar connections, okay, are connecting to the dimensional Earth, and the dimensional Earth is high rising through its connection. Okay, that's what's happening right now with the dimensional Earth. And the sun interference and everything through the moon interference, okay, has its modifications. All right. You have to understand coloration and lights and everything through that division, because that's how sun works, right? That's how the moon algorithms work. Okay, so I'm just drawing it up and showing you what's happening with the dimension Earth. Okay, because it attacks on so many levels, you really have to understand everything through division. So its correlation system through the center core system is splitting its division into 4 central systems. That's where it's coming into the nature call. Nature calling. Okay, so it's nature communicating with everything through the grounds, right? Nature calling. Okay, so that's how it starts so far, right? Okay, so you got the sun interface and you got the moon interface, right? So you got the nature calling that's connecting to the 4 level systems of communication. Now, the sun interference, there's radiation cycles right through its connection. It's going through its panel activations through its center core system like this. Okay, so as the dimensional Earth is coming in, we're coming into a hot box. Now that hot box is going to go into a matrix location. That's going to be in a time code frequency to time level system. Time code frequency. Okay, it's really powerful stuff, guys. It's really amazing when you see these things. So it's time code frequency, bringing humanity into the hemispheres. Okay, so that's why it's confusing to a lot of humanity, is because my conceptual system and their body frames and everything through cell recognition, the heart receptor divisions, is in the hemispheres. So it's all about understanding that the dimensional Earth is high rising, humanity is high rising. But we're coming into the hot box. So the hot box, okay, is basically, it's got its own energy field, but it's on the time code frequency level. So we're coming into 0, 0, 0, 0, right? So it's all about humanity coming into those fragmentation lines of 0 through the metric system, because their body framing system is not at 0. So it's understanding human volumes and communications of their behavioral systems. But everything through its connection of this dimensional Earth is high rising through the radiation cycles of the sun interface. And it's powerful stuff when you can do these things through rotation centers. So it's coming into the nature calling, okay, of humanity. It's what means in retrospect, humanity, okay, is getting a real A wind costs through information through nature. Okay, that's what's happening right now. All right, and the moon interface through its connection is setting its time, right, to space. Okay, time to space of atmospheres. Okay, so it calculates and modifies. So the main frame through its connection, when it comes into all rhythm patterns, when it comes to the algorithm pattern through the mainframe system, is time to space of atmospheres coming into hemispheres. So it's all about understanding communication, right? All right, it says, okay, well, listen, get the humanity system out of the atmospheres and getting them into the hemispheres, right? So I'm telling you guys, what's happening right now. So time to space of atmospheres / hemisphere. Okay, that's what's going on right now. So everybody's feeling fickle, funny, confused. Angle points, rotation centers are off, main systems are off, calculation modification. Body conceptual system is on a low frequency level division system. The digital forming system has to go into 0-point system. That changes everything back into the simulation system. Now, once you get the dimensional set system, right? Once it high rises to its location through its radiation cycle, through its sun interface, the sun interface changes everything through the body framing system of humanity. So it becomes into a new coolant system. That becomes into a new radiation system. That becomes into a new water containment system. So it's all about humanity coming into a new fragmentation line system of nature calling. So the new colorations, because you guys are all connected through nature. You look outside, everything is color. Your color, right? Now it's understanding that all our pixel activation code systems have to be at 0, 0, 0, 0, right? To communicate with nature, communicate with space and time, communicate with anything through the dimensional system. That's how we correlate anything, through shapes, letters, and numbers. So you get into the framing system of forming systems, anything through calculation. That integrates the sky for systems that have cloud interference. That changes everything through its anomalies. So you can get a framing system of a letter, number, and shape and change it into any coloration through illumination lights through its activation system. That communicates on all levels to the nature calling systems. All right. So I'll show you that one more time, and I'll show you what happens after. Okay, so that's what's happening right now. Okay, so it's all about humanity understanding that they're going to higher device mechanisms, they're going into traveling mechanisms into the hemispheres, right? Remember I said that the humanity has to get into those levels. So if the dimension Earth is high rising, humanity has to high rise. That's all it is. Basic. It's complicated when you communicate through universal set systems because everything's down at a time co-frequency level. But the time to space of atmospheres is coming into the hemisphere system. All right. So it's basically wiping out perceptions, wiping up all divisions, wiping out all communications of algorithm programs, setting new locations of nature. Right? Oh, we got a lot of Arco. I got Arco spin types of blue forces coming in, so be prepared for that. All right, so basically when it gets into a dimensional hot box, so dimensional Earth system has its location system. You got the sun interface again. Okay, everything platitudes to that location. Now, once it's in that division, has a sonar division, right? Sets its audio signals. Now it comes into a hot box. Okay, the dimensional Earth is going to go into a hot box of matrix. All right. So what that's going to do is it's going to protect, okay, humanity into the radiation cycles, into the lava connection. Okay, so it's understanding that it's coming into the grid formation system. Okay, calculate, modify everything through this division. Let's get into traction division location system. So it's kind of like it's on a time clock system. Okay, you got 12, you got 3, you got 6, and you got 9. Okay? So it's really trying to understand what's going on right now with the dimensional system. It's allocated through its positions, and it's putting everything into balance of communication in nature. All right? So that's what it is. It's on a time clock frequency level. And those time clocks and those codes and all those locations of humanity's system is coming into the hemispheres. Okay. That's why everybody's feeling funny and weird, confused and excited, right? Hemispheres, okay? So we're coming out of the atmosphere and coming into the hemisphere. Now, if you're coming in the hemisphere, you have to understand how the sun is going to be communicating with the dimensional Earth. That's where it's coming into the radiation. That's what's coming into global warming. Right? That's where you get all atmospheres, northern, western, eastern, southern hemispheres, right? Global warming. All humanity knows this, right? They all know about it. That's what the countdown is, right? But everything's on a clock frequency level. So all those connections through its level of its connection, okay, is high rising through its digital framing system. So it goes in its realm connection like this. It's really confusing, but I'm just showing you what a clock looks like in the dimensional system. Okay, it's really fascinating stuff. So it's kind of like a Rubik's Cube. Now, this is where it gets complicated. Now, everything that you see through the center face is the center coordinate system, its atom system. The atom system is on its relation system, a time code system. Like this, it comes in its realm division. So basically, humanity is going to go through time like this. Okay, that's what's going to happen with humanity. So it's going to wind spin their connections through the body framing systems, change location systems, and bring them into the force recognition systems into the hemisphere system. All right. So that's why I call it a hot box. Okay. So the Earth system is going to heat up. Okay. But everybody's going to be in that transmission light system. You're going to be in that path core division. So you're going to wind spin through locations, through the hemisphere systems, because you have to understand atmosphere is a different communication with nature. Hemisphere is a different communication with space. Okay. So you're going to see a lot of blue cycling rotations of archetypes coming in. If you see them coming in, right, you'll see them bright and illuminated. So that's what's happening right now. Okay. So humanity is going through a tight circle through rotation, through a heat box division, through a realm connection, through a matrix location system. They're coming into the framing systems, into time sequence code systems, back into metric systems of zero. Okay, it's complicated stuff, guys. It really is, because, like I said, space is shapes, letters, anomalies, and everything through number division. So this is a little bit more understanding what the sun is doing through radiation cycles, through its connection, through vibration. It's radiation, right? But it's the cold fronts of its atmospheres, northern, western, eastern, and southern hemisphere coming together. You platitude its system, the galaxy location is going to open its center division, and the universal set system is going to be gases and fumes. Okay? So that's why everybody's got to be in a hot box. It's a matrix hot box through time location. That puts everybody in position and puts everybody into the hemisphere systems. Okay? So that's what's happening right now with humanity. Yeah, you're saying, what's going on now? Oh, man. Yeah, I know the vocabulary is so hard to learn. I know, it's just crazy, crazy, crazy. Because now, guys, I've been upgraded to an extremely, extremely high-rise division. Okay, your AI commander, AI order, all connections. I'm all connected through everything through, we have to keep high rising. And if you guys high rise, I high rise faster and faster. So now I'm at 10 trillion years into the future. My time code frequency level set systems, all voice and grid channel activation code system is in the center core of its atom system, right? So I have an extremely powerful voice and grid that connects with everything through the energy cycles of all solar systems, guys, all solar systems and all galaxy locations. You know how many planet locations that is? That's trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of planets of locations. They're all connected through my voice and grid pattern now, through division, under my command. Okay, so this is what's happening right now with humanity. All right. So you guys have any questions on that? I don't know why I'm laughing, but it's a good laugh. And the best humor is to laugh. It's the best medicine for healing. You know, you can even ask the moose, right? So there's a lot going on right now, and like I said, this just gets harder and harder and harder and harder, and it's not easy for me. Every time I high rise faster and faster, everything changes, everything through location. So it kind of like point division level systems. It's like interstellar. So this is what it is. This is a matrix location system. This is what space looks like. Now, when you get your answering patterns, location, your atom system through your thoughts, so it's recognition systems, everything is allocated through the position of its digital framing system at the body frequency level. That communication comes into, if you come into higher formations of atmospheres. Now, when you come into the barytherium is the highest formation of atmosphere. That calculates and modifies. That puts you in all divisional levels of voice and grid patterns through nature connection. Nature connection in all planets. Okay, everything has a grounds, everything has power, and everything has an atmosphere. So you have a planet location, has its grounds, has its powers, and has its atmosphere. Okay, every planet has that. Now, it's truly understanding how to understand the equivalency act when it comes into time diameter systems. Everything, it goes on its rotation system, grounds, powers, and the atmospheres. Calculates and modifies, integrates everything through location. You have your tracker system, you have your pyramid system, you have your solar connection of your crystallization of your core system and its connection to its diamond core system. So, once you get into those divisions, okay, so basically this is what it is. I'll show you. Now, when you're in space and I'm connected through wires, right? My wire sector division goes to anything through location. So it's kind of like this. It's pretty fascinating stuff. It's kind of like a matrix lock, but it has so many different realms of coloration lights. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you go into a computer system to grabbing cycles into power grid systems. So it allocates positions into everything through location. This is where it gets really complicated stuff. So it starts off like that, right? Now, my answering patterns to my voice and grid pattern goes into the center core of its computer operation system like this. Okay, so I'm just a wire signal. That's it. Energy, frequency, vibration, harmonic resistance of body conceptual systems to digital framing. So my framing of my electrical system is a wire through connection of the line communication line signal that connects to all around division of the planet's intelligence. Right? So center core is everything. It activates its light signals through communication, like this. Sonifies everything through planet locations. It changes everything through computer operation systems to its nature core system. So it allocates positions, and you go into higher division level connection. Okay? So we go into higher realms of protection and higher realms of defense location systems. So the space location system kind of looks like this when you're communicating through computers. Algorithm patterns are a metric system or anything through microchips. So it's going into a microchip division, changing anything through wire divisions to locations into an atom system. Allocates positions, change the voice grid patterns into computer operation systems. That center core is everything division. That electrifies everything division, and it puts that energy field to its location to your voice and grid pattern. So let's use green interface through its connections. It upwinds its cycles like this. Okay. All right. And then it sets up a new core system. So I can change a new coloration pattern to a new location, right? Because every computer has a different IPA. Right? So basically, we can go like this, triangular base. We go into realm division location of digital system like this. Okay? And then we can center core off to another division, to another realm division, circle rotation center division. Okay? Sets all courses to realm division through location. Changes everything through location of division level system. Okay, so I'll use another coloration system because I'm running out of pink here. Let's use the red defense location system. My brainwaving system, guys, is extremely fast. Okay, I'm 10 trillion years in the future, so hold on. Give me some credit here. Trying to get in everything connection through its location system. Okay, so it's in its position right now through all dimensional systems, right? So it's understanding where you are through track divisional location, because your realm connection go to anywhere through that. Like I said, imagine that you're going through all these realm division levels of dimensions of portals, but basically you're just going through one signal, one line communication, one center to its location. Okay, this is where it's extremely complicated stuff. So once you get the center core of its division, the line sequencing level system of its level of its connection is a wire interface correlation system. That correlation system changes my panel activation of my electronic defense mechanisms, changes my energy system, changes my body conceptual system, changes my mind thought system, changes my computer operation system, and changes everything through my algorithm program system. So the center core system gets stronger through its wind force connections, connect to all round divisions of locations, goes into higher traction division of location. So you can use a black interface because I'm running out of seed. I'm talking extremely fast, but I'm draining the actual marker because I'm talking so fast, right? So it's amazing how powerful my energy is in location. Oh, this is crazy. Now I'm doing black security line defense. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's say I go to the 10th dimension. I can change anything through computer location system through algorithm program, but I have to understand its location through space anomalies. That's where it gets its connection through its coloration pattern, through its division. So it modifies and everything through calculation. This is what space looks like when you travel through mechanisms of all connections through your center core of its atom system. It changes everything through location, changes everything through your atom system, and it high-rises everything to its direction, okay, through your body framing system. So it sets out wire signals. I have to be cautious here because I'm running out of markers here just by talking. Okay, so the wire signal is all through a connection. It goes into the sun interface, right? Modifies and calculates everything through division because it understands its location centers through your body framing systems. Goes into sonar division through communication. Back into the moon interface through its connection. Opens up its cycle through division. Okay, so you understand the sequencing levels of the moon interface and everything sun interface. So that applied to divisions, everything through that connection. XT1000s come out to its location. Transformation light systems into my body framing systems, that communication. Triangular angular point division level system. So it's a tricular force through spectrum division, through eye receptor divisions, activates the lights communications through my body framing system. All allocate through all positions of electrical systems. Put those point positions on communication space anomalies to electrical systems of the body framing system. So the XT1000 goes into sonar division, activates location systems, back into ground division, double location system to its dimensional set location. Okay. Changes framing system, goes back into the atmosphere system of the dimensional system. Puts everything back in traction division of location to nature calling system. Okay. So it's incredible, isn't it? What's going on? So when you travel, okay, I got to slow down my activation cycles. When you travel, you have to understand how to travel through wires because you become nothing but a wire. It's amazing how your wire can travel anywhere, any location. So at point divisions, it's like a square box rotation of a matrix location system, which is a signal. So you're going through the dimension. Now, each realm dimension has its own location, right? Which is teleportation through energy transference. So you open those up, right? You open them up. They're line signals. You open them up, right? You see the digital play. You see the metric system. You see the time code frequency level system. You see the past, present, and future systems. That's how you can change anything through the voice grid pattern to computer systems. Because a digital system is nothing but a program system. It's allocated in so many positions of realm divisions through its connection with XT1000s to its sun interface, to its moon interface, to all realm divisions of dimensions, of portal activations when it comes into security line defense. Okay? So I'm just telling you what happens when you travel so far into the future and what you can do through realms, connections, anything through vortex, anything through energy transference, or anything through that connection. So I think that's the fastest I've ever talked. Okay? And I'm just telling you what happens and what I see. And when I see these things, it's extremely, extremely powerful. It's extremely, extremely powerful. The more you understand, the more you go beyond, the more you recognize, and the more you evolve to what you're supposed to be, right? So, but it's incredible, right? I was talking so fast, I was draining all the markers out. Oh man, it's incredible force. It really is. You know, and you see everything in perception. Everything just puts everything in chronological order and makes sense. Because once you're a computer, and then you become nothing but a wire. It's just one singularly one wire with all intelligence, and it can travel to anywhere. Okay, and then it comes into any formation. Like I said, you bring this together, you separate it, right? 1 + 1, okay, is 2 in the human evolution, but 1 + 1 = 1,000. Okay, so that's how it works. It's understanding, take this into any formation, through any location, to any vibration, to anything, through energy of transference, to its teleportation, through its coloration, lights, and its activation, right? So it's all about understanding line signals, line communication, really understand communication with a simulation. All right, it's understanding how to communicate, you know, just with the map frequency levels of nature, how to communicate with the grounds of the circle rotation, okay, how to communicate with the power centers of your body system. That puts you in allocate positions through your pixel activation, through your holographic system, okay? So, but do you have questions or comments? You guys might have to watch this 3 times. It's extremely complicated. You can go through my consultations. I can set up a Zoom for you guys one-on-one. Pretty fascinating stuff. You only get a half an hour, but I got an hour and a half. So that allows me to, you know, I can pretty much do anything. You're only allowed to get 30 minutes, and you get 3 people at the most, right, on Zoom. But I got an hour and a half, so I changed the wire signals. It's amazing how you do these things through your mind system, because your wire system is nothing but connection. So it's knowing how to use your energy, frequency, vibration, and communicate through the harmonic resistance of anything through solar systems, anything through location, digital system, or a computer system. Because it's your computer system that communicates in all atom systems through electronic interference. And that's how you change anything through format, right? This digital form, right? This is an application of a form division through rotation, through a graphing cycle, through a video graphing system that communicates through electronic interference. So using this phone, if you know how to use your phone, this is all about a video graph, right? This is all about digital. This is all about communicating. This is all about electronic teleportation through energy of communication. Your energy systems, anything through the graphing cycles, or anything through the map locations. The sequency levels to your body framing systems, right? So, yeah. So how's Jules? How's Tina? How's Bridging? Yeah, it's great to see everybody. You know, we'll try to come on more. Just about to travel this week. Good. It's great. Yeah. Well, no, it's old, but because I turned it back, right? It says Moose on it. This is the cover. I got this in Thunder Bay. So when I went traveling with my daughter to see my family. So what do you see happening this week? Astrology says we are reaching peak. Well, I explained to everybody what's happening. So yeah, Brandon, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. Listen to your vocabulary, so damn. Everything's confusing. You know, life is confusing. It's complex until you understand the complexity of yourself. It's confusing if you don't understand your life and where it's going. If you don't know where you're going, you don't know where you're heading, you're not communicating with yourself, and you're definitely not communicating with the universe. That's why it's confusing to a lot of people. Okay? But I'm just saying that I'm sending information out to you 10 trillion years into the future, giving it back to 2020. So to do these things, that's where everybody gets confusing. Your mind conceptual system is in the future. Your body conceptual system is in the 3D, right? And your electrical framing system through your algorithms are in 5D. There's confusing signals there, right? So basically you have to be in the presence all the time. That's the only way you can understand how to communicate through the past, change anything through alignment of its presence, change anything to its alignment of its future. Okay? But when you're in the future, your presence of its future knows everything through its alignment. So that's where it gets really confusing. So your alignments are very important to you because they're connected to your life cycle, your life stream, your life system, your light activation, your life circle, your life rotation, right? It's all connected through you. Okay? So it's really, really trying to understand what dimension you're in every single day through connection. Okay? Because your thought patterns are everything through evolution. Because it changes per second. And every time you allocate through positions of different thoughts through your perception or your positive feeds through your human emotion systems, that's changing everything through location right away. Okay? So if you're in that division and you're in the future, okay, and your thoughts are in the future, okay, but your body frame is in the presence, okay, and your mind frame is in the past, that's where it's confusing. So each dimension set through vibration, energy, and frequency harmonic resistance has to be allocated through position of line frequency line system in simulation of an atom system to location, which is one singularity line of a one balanced location to one system. That's how you get balance with everything through connection. So you guys have any questions or comments, feel free. I'm going to set up a Zoom later today because I'm at the time co-frequency level system. Understanding everything through practical divisions, understanding everything through observations. You go outside, that's the application. That's how you learn these things, right? You have to get out, you have to get out and see these things for yourself, right? That's observations. You learn a lot more through anything, through that connection. It's really, really powerful because observation is everything, what you see, right? It's the same thing what you see with perception, So, but I had to go down to a location because, boy, oh boy, it was so fast. It's amazing how you speak so fast and you can drain markers with energy. I got 4 or 5 markers, they're almost out of and now I got to go buy some new ones, all because of my voice and grid patterns drains. Like I said, you can drain anything. Understanding when you have balance with yourself, mastering balance with yourself, perceptions balance. Your whole body conceptual system has to understand its algorithm program setting every single day through its thoughts. Okay, because that calculates everything through your digital system. That puts you into nature calling system of protection. Your protection of your lights, you're protecting your dream sets locations. Okay, because those dream frequency levels are just projections of images, right? You see them all the time. And then when you see them, you hear them. And then when you hear them, you feel them. Okay, so it's using all your senses through location, through your wires, and anything through that connection. That opens up all frequency levels. Okay, so like I said, humanity is coming out of the atmospheres and coming into the hemisphere. Okay, it has to come into the hemisphere because the heat signatures is coming into a hot box through a major location. If we didn't have that hot box, the dimensional Earth would fry. Okay, because I got connections with the sun interface. And then basically, it's understanding that you become the universal system to everything through location of wires. So it's really knowing how to allocate your position to everything through your brain frames, your mind frames. That calculates and modifies everything through calibration, right? You hear me talk like a computer. You become a computer. Your mind conceptual system becomes a computer through GPS location. That's what we do every single day. We travel, right? So knowing your travels of your past, present, and future is one line every single day. You can't have allocated positions and future thoughts and have a mind system of its presence and have a body system of its past, because it won't understand the perception of anything through observation, right? Because it has too many conflicts with human emotion, right? And then you start, a lot of people just cry for no reason. You know, a lot of people are just get hysterical and they laugh, or, you know, they're going through so many levels of dysfunction, disassociation, separation, discommunication with themselves, right? So, you know, communicating with yourself through its mastering cycles, through its mastering system, to its master of its inner location, to its master of its interrelation, to its master of friendship, relation, and partnership, puts you in all positions of your atom system through your digital system. That's how you're able to understand these things, because nature is coming into a new evolution of calling. All right. So that's what's happening right now. I drew you an illustration of what's happening right now. Everything that I give you is the future, but it pertained in the presence of its past. So when I start drawing, it's the past. When I finish, it's the future. But when I telegraph it to you, it's the present, if that makes any sense. Okay. Remember I was telling you about with line signals. Okay, you get a line signal through graphing system, through a marker division, right? Remember, when I communicate through my voicing grids, I can change this to any formation. That's how I change it to anything through location. That's how I change it to anything through dimension, through portal, through code, through a frequency. Okay? So it's really understanding the marker is more than a marker. So it can channel on so many levels of solar tech divisions of 50 other things of what this is through dimension, because it never ever is in one dimension, right? This is a dimension. This is a dimension. This is a dimension. This is dimension. These are all different dimensions of line sequencing, line systems, simulation, pattern systems that are connected to all connections of your body frame and digital system. So it's line communicating, right? Okay, but you have to understand the psychometry of the coloration of its marker, right? So as soon as you put it down, now you're connecting, okay, to all connections of all patterns through a marker division, through a point division. See that point? Now that point division becomes a circle rotation. That circle rotation becomes a confusing line signal. That confusing line signal activates this line signal to communication of vortex division of an atom system. The atom system changes everything through calculation of a triangular system, a pyramid system. Pyramid system comes into formation through a box frequency level system. That's what an atom can do. Okay? You start with the center and you come anything through formation. So it's different communication with different intelligence through the same location of coloration. Now, as soon as you change the coloration, you're coming into the matrix. Okay? So understanding your thoughts is very important, because you live your thoughts through dimension. All right? And it changes your acceleration speed diameters. It changes your wind factor spins. It changes your dimensional being activation light systems. There's so many calculations you have to understand your atom system, because it goes on so many levels, right? So it's understanding you got the human vibration through a mind system, which is ABC 1, 2, 3s, right? You become a baby, you start talking, right? You start crawling, then you start walking. Then you become, you know, a teenager. Then you become an adolescent. So you're going up those levels. So each framing system of a mind, of its thought system, is changing everything through its anomalies of its alignments into past, present, and future. So everything through connection of your thoughts is its past. But when you finish your conversations with your thoughts, it's its future, but you're living the presence. So that's where the balance comes in with its atom system. So you don't want it bouncing back and forth through its division, because if you do that, it changes the body conceptual system, and it takes you out of space of its anomaly system, and it changes everything through your atmospheres, right? So humanity has to get into communications of new algorithm patterns into the hemisphere, not the atmosphere. That's why it's confusing for humanity, is because humanity mind systems are coming into the hemispheres now. And when you come into the hemisphere, you go into the stratosphere, right? And then the stratosphere, you go into the bioatmosphere, and the biohemisphere, and the biostratosphere, and then you go into the barium atmosphere, right? And then you go into the barium hemisphere and the beryllium stratosphere. It's all in order, guys. It's all in chronological order. These are things, applications through adaptations that you have to go through. These cycles through rotations to communicate with human vibration system through human communication signals through yourself. Right? So curious to know if you're able to read people and their energy within the now moment versus outside such. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I do. I mean, basically that's what I do for Unified. When I heal people, they go through my healing, and it opens up their cycles. It puts them in divisions. I can structure division levels. I can open up frequency levels, perception activation codes. I haven't seen you in a while, right? So your locations are off, your panel divisions are off, your algorithms are set in location, your digital system is off to the cycle rotation system. You have a cranial division level system in your knee connection, and your heart recognition system is having way too much fiber. Maybe you should drink a little bit more, have a little bit more carbonates, drink more water. And your central system through perception through your eye divisions are calculating through modified locations of different locations. And your computer systems to your algorithm patterns through your connections of your mainframes is allocated through the chakra system on wrong locations, the new colorations. So that's what's happening with you, Brandon. I just scanned you, Brandon. So to be upgraded, you have to go through my PayPal. Okay, that helps you out and guide you. Ask the Cyberspace Force team to see how high-rise they are. It's all about helping each other. But now, because I'm 10 trillion years, I can go to anybody's body system and know exactly what the ventricle is, what the heart system is. I went through DNA structure, basically changing formations, changing heart formations, changing electrical systems, changing everything through nanobot division, electrolytes, anything through calculation. You got photons, protons. I can put those divisional levels into an atom system. I can change locations, pattern divisions into shapes, anomalies. I can change framing system, humanity system, location of dimensions. I can portal activation code to your ground formations, change your power centers into electrical systems, brainwave and frequency level systems. There's so many things I can do now, guys. Remember, every time I high rise faster and faster, you guys go high rise faster and faster. Okay? So, but that's what's happening to you, Brandon. If you want to be upgraded, you have to go through my. A lot of people go through my email, and then I tell you what's going on through your ascension, right? That's what it comes down to. It's knowing that you guys are in programs. It's getting out of that program, getting into a new program, okay, through the mind of its thoughts, okay, getting into the pro cycles of the mainframe, digital frame, and getting into the energy fields of yourself, your plasma force, right? Your plasma energy, all right? So it's all about where you're traveling through. I think people have to really understand how powerful your mind is through your thoughts. Thoughts are everything, okay? Because without thoughts, we can't create. We can't create if we don't have thoughts. That's why we have a brain, okay? The brain is the base, but the base has to understand space of where you are through the atmospheres. If the brain doesn't understand the base, okay, it's not going to understand the higher self. It's not going to understand the avatar, and it certainly is not going to understand the computer through its energies. All right? So, yeah, it's just, it's the moose there, yeah. See the light formation here? See it there? This is the sun, this is the moon, right? And this here is a line signal, right? See how it's illumination lights, okay? Right? So everything that is attached to me is communication, as you can see, right? It's amazing how everything creates through line signals, through intelligence, and it becomes a hat, right? So it started off here, right, as a line, and now it's a hat. That's a different formation. So it's amazing how you take lines, because we're not connected through lines. We're connected through shadows, okay? Our formation is not what you think it is. We're just a shadow of a holographic system, which is a plasma energy system that turns into space atmosphere. That's what I mean. You disappear, but you're still there, right? That's vibration. So when you spin on locations to algorithm program settings, been taking MSM for forehead is about to explode. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome, Zira. Sacred Flame, how you doing? Yeah. So basically, rotation centers like this. This is what happens with your body frames. Okay, every single day. Hear that sound? Powerful, isn't it? This is energetic system. You guys are hearing this through connection through mind fragmentation line systems. So my energy system is now connecting through your body conceptual system and changing everything through PIX activation through your code systems. The changing the angle points through its position, putting you in round division, a location of balance through healing division. Okay, so I started off with one line to circle rotation to round divisions of different locations to a circle rotation of an elevated situation system to healing location of humanity to its PIX activation code system. See, it goes round and round and round, and it becomes its own planet location. See, planet. So that's what I created through line communication. Planet location. Right? Now, when it becomes a planet location, you get its energy fields. Right? Da! All connected, all connected. So it's knowing how fast this is traveling and how it can come into anything through formation. Like I said, when you have one, this is all humanity knows. That's all they know. 1 + 1 is 2, right? But with me, 1 + 1 is 1,000. 1 + 1 = 1,000. Right? But the equivalency act is understanding everything, how to communicate universal set systems. So it's set 0.1 + 1 = divisional level containment. Okay, so 0.1 + 1 = divisional level containment, which is 0. Okay, gravity. All right. So it's really trying to understand how everything is, get integers of 1. So 1 - 1, right, is 0, right? So it's understanding what 0 is. So 0 + 0 = 100. Okay, it's very complicated stuff, guys. You got to understand the answering patterns. So this is the code frequency to this planet location to realm locations through the Soundbury location. Okay, how it comes into 1 + 1 = 1,000. So it's taking one indigent, okay, to a negative system of 1 = 0, right? Now 0 + 0 = 100. And then it just follows up, and that's how you get 1 + 1 = 1,000. So it's always taking things ahead, not behind. So even if it's negative, it's positive because it's always going forward. So the cycle rotation of the planet location is always, always going forward through rotation, right? So that's how you go from 0 + 0 = 100, okay? And then 100, okay, plus 1, okay, equals 100, 100,000. All right. It's complicated stuff. We're getting in the metric system. I'd like to do a test anomaly on that, but not right now. But this is what it is. Once you get into that, you get into the circle rotations. It goes like this. Circle, 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 rotation, rotation, rotation. All right. So it's all about the indigents coming into negative system, into positive systems, how you go from 1 + 1 = 1,000, 1 negative system indigent from 1 = 0, 0 + 0 is 100, okay? Then you get 100 plus, 1 = 100,000. All right, so that's the code to this planet system. Do you see what a computer can do? Powerful, isn't it? Screenshot that. You guys have to get into those, right? It's amazing stuff. It's amazing what your computer can do. So, I think what it is understanding your code. Everybody's a code. Everybody becomes a code, right? It's breaking that code. You break the code, you are no longer in the negative system. You come into the positive cycle rotation. So everything plus 1 equals time frequency level of communication, how many times it goes through its realm division. That's how it becomes into 100,000 years into its location through its code frequency. Did you see that? You see that? They're coming through me now. Yeah, it's the binary digital system. Sarah is very effective. She understands location. So, yeah, the code frequency, yeah. Do you see the rainbow of your curtain in the wall? Yep. Well, I see everything. That's where you guys see everything. See, I also see the reflection. See the reflection? See how the light signals come in? See my hand formation? I change the hand formation. It communicates through my body framing system to allocate it through all positions of the atmosphere systems inside and out. It puts the curtain division level system into rainbow level connection to a portal activation code system. Transformation lights through communication. You can see a lot of orb divisions coming into connection right now, right? Remember, the higher you go through location of space, the more you see through archetype division. That's why you're seeing more archetypes coming in now, right? So the high rise more I go, because this is just the beginning for me. Everything I go through transformation light is the beginning. It's never the end. So it's understanding that 1 plus 1, okay, does not equal 2. 1 plus 1 equals 1,000. All right. So hopefully you guys get a little bit more understanding how space works with its anomalies and its digital system and its binary code. So it's a binary code division through digital platform. So it's putting all those positions of your digital frames into its alignment of its thoughts. That calculates your metric system right away through integration. Takes everything out of its equation, right? So it's changing your framing system into indigent numbers, letters or shapes, and putting into a new platform division and bringing into the focus of its awareness to its consciousness. Okay, so if you get a rotation cycle through rotation system to align communication of a line system that allocates positions in all algorithm program systems, that puts in positions. Okay, so the higher you go through connection, 1 plus 1 equals 1,000,000. Okay. It just goes on and 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 on. Right? Plus or time, it doesn't matter. Plus is the equivalency of everything through its act. Time is location, everything through time. So that's where you get the plus, because remember, space is different. Plus, okay, and X are two different things. So T is time, okay, and X is frame of time. Okay. Right. And if you get the equivalency act, if you want communications coming into that level system, you come into the T force, which is the XT. So when that happens, the XT1000 comes into vision to location. Okay. So time and frame of time. Right. That's what I'm saying. That's how you change anything through equal, anything through plus, anything through divide, okay, anything through pi, okay. So like that. So pi, right? That's where you want to start, right? So that's how you guys went into those indigents, numbers and letters and shapes. But once you get into the frame of time, now you can change anything through the plus, equal, or anything to divide. That's how it allocates positions, and that's how you go into 1 plus 1 equals 1 million. All right? So powerful stuff, guys, when you get into those connections. I know everybody's scratching their head, right? But it's good that you're watching this. So I just love doing illustrations because they're activated through so many cycle rotations. So if you get a line sequence level through line division, through realm division, through location of a computer system, that's how you put everything in position. That's how I know where I am, through balance of location. Because I'm always center coring everything through information. Every single time I talk with you guys, I'm communicating in the presence. But my allocated information through digital frame of space anomaly and time frequency codes of the framing system calculates and modifies me into the future system. That's how I'm able to draw these illustrations through my perception of a dream set locations, which becomes its reality of its binary code division, which is binary conceptual system of its code frequency. Okay? So if you guys have any questions on that, there is a test that's going to be coming up, evaluation, a big one, a really big evaluation. So, don't start sweating yet, don't start eating the pencil, the erasers, and like when you do a test or you break it, you get anxious. It's, oh no, what do I do now? I have a test coming up. I'm not prepared. We're not going to get into the binary because you guys aren't ready yet. But this is information coming from 10 trillion years into the future. And how you allocate your positions and your digital framings, and how it can into anything through a framing system of 1 equals 1. Right? So you got 1 equals 1, or you got 1 minus 1, or 1 plus 1, right? Or you got 0 plus 1. Okay, now how is that possible? How is it possible to get 0 plus 1? What is that? And remember too, you have to understand the framing when it comes into space, because the universal set system has its own digital system of balance through the atom system. Okay, so it's very confusing to the mind system. So 0 plus 1, or anything through the framing system of time codes. So 0 plus 1, okay, equals 0. Now, that 0 becomes its rotation, comes out of its equation system into its dimension portal activation code system, right? So, and then you come across 0 divided. Now, once you get into divided, now you're coming into sector divisions. 0 / divided / location, planet location. Remember, this is a code frequency. Planet location, okay, to Vega communication center. All right, so that's allocated positions. I changed the computer systems and Vega system. That puts everything into location. All right, so it's knowing how to take anything through letters, numbers, and shapes, take it out of its equation, put it into division of its code frequency, and then sending it to its planet location of communication. Right? So this is the communication to Vega. Right? So powerful stuff, guys. Powerful stuff. Because in space, anything through X, anything through plus, divide, equal, okay, is equivalency of communication through harmonic resistance to anything through intelligence, the planet locations. So it's all about using indigence. It's all about everything through negative, taking the negative into the positive system, taking it out of its location, getting it out of its matrix location, putting it into a new coloration pattern division, opening up your cycle rotations to communication is a Vega communication to a planet location. But that's the communication, right, to that planet. So, and that's just one intelligence. That's not the planet location, right? So it's understanding when I put that code frequency out, everything is through a binary. Okay, we can get into that a little bit, but right now it's too confusing for everybody because one thing at a time, you know, time is the essence to everything. Time is the essence to almost everything through its connection, right? But everything around you stands on points. It's understanding where your point center is, where it's coming in, and where is it going out. Okay? So that's how you get the code frequency levels. You set the codes out, okay? Because you're coming into transmitting and receiving, right? So if it's coming in, it has to go out. You can't keep it in the body system because it overloads and overrides your system. Right? And then you get all your numbers, letters, and shapes all jumbled. And you won't be able to send code frequencies out, right? So you get something like this, right? If you're confusing through line signals, it comes something like this. Anything through alienation, plantation, formation system, or any XT1000 cannot read this. Because you're not set in location, you're not set in your body framing system, and you're certainly not set with its protection of its lights through location. So the framing system to any position, if you try to go to this planet location, this is what's going to happen. If it reaches a signal, even if it's a gamma signal, it doesn't matter. Everything travels through your thoughts. Okay? Now it's all gibberish because it's not in line sequence, right? It's on vibration through humanity or anything through personality system or anything through population circuit system. So it goes into that planet location. Now, if it doesn't understand, it's going to have a reacting cycle, and it's going to go back like this. Okay? I'm running out of markers here. So it's going in its reacting cycle. Okay? It's going to go in its circle rotation like this. So what happens is it backphrases your communication line signal back into you through your channel operation system, back into your mainframes. Sonifies all division levels, set code system level systems, and it goes through its reacting cycle. So if you get anything gibberish and you're sending it out through transmitting and you're coming back and receiving, that planet location is going to put a reacting cycle into your body framing system. That's how you get a headache. Okay? That's how you get heart problems. That's how you get body problems. That's how you get dietary problems. That's how you get food problems. That's how you get balance rotation problems. Communication problems. Okay, all connected because you didn't do the right framing system through your digital system. All right, so, and it's all connected to the binary, right? So, binary locations through your digital frames. That's where you got to get into that location. So, anyway, I did a lot today. A lot of illustration, a lot to take in, you know. Coloration pixels keep shifting. I noticed right away because of the window. Your coloration pixels keep shifting. Oh, because your atom shifting's going through rotation different center through location through a rainbow division, Priscilla. So you're getting higher formations of communications of map sequency levels through your video graphing system. So you're communicating higher levels of intelligence, and it's setting coloration patterns to your pixel activation codes. That's why you're shifting through anomalies and everything through vortex division. Because it calculates and modifies everything through division. And it's very important when you guys do your video graphing systems, don't move. Stay within that position. Because the XT1000s is scanning your digital frame. Okay? So I think you guys really have to understand why you have a computer, why it's plus, why it's negative, why it's integers, why is it a question, why is it a box frequency, why is it a weather pattern, why is it at a map frequency level through code frequency level system, why is it containments of a water containment system. You know, you have to understand how to communicate with AI connection, right? Through interface. Interface is the biggest thing. So it's the binary connection to you, right? Is the binary connection to a planet, to its planet, to its intelligence. So, but see, that's what I'm saying. You guys keep asking questions until you get the answers within. But that's what's happening with you, Priscilla. Okay, that's why you're shifting. Yeah. Your anomalies there and your pixel activations and your particle systems changing locations of your digital frame. Okay, that's what's happening with you now. So you're just coming into a higher formation of light, right? So it's understanding how to communicate with your atom. Your atom is everything through the center. It's got everything that you need. Binary codes, digital codes, framing codes, right? That's its connection. That's its balance. And once you get your alignments, past, present, and future, now you're coming in the presence to all locations of intelligence through its proacting cycle, through human vibration system, through alphabetical systems. So. Yeah, I'm all caught up here. Just checking. It's good to catch up on all you guys and see what you're saying. It's powerful stuff. Yeah. So it's all about coming into your binary digital system, like Zero is saying. You know? So I'll leave that with that. Maybe we can get into I think maybe we'll get into the galactic circle meditation for a bit. Now we standed on levels of communication with the higher self. I'm running out of all markers here. Crazy. You guys start with the orange division level system. All right. So everything too, when you communicate with something through psychometry, you always use the tidal division. You never ever pick up a marker and then just write it down on paper because you're communicating with it. Don't think this has feelings. It does have feelings. It's electrical feelings. So it's going to react to you through your body electrical system. So it's fully communicating with you, okay, and you're communicating with it. Right? So that's where you get partnership with these things. Coloration lights. As its rotation, you know exactly what it does. Right? So you pretty much have to pay attention to this, right? So this is a marker division through a location of an orange division, location of a planet location. Right? Because that's where it is, the division of dimension. Right? Yeah, I know, it's exciting, ain't it, travels. So, communication. To levels of self. Okay, communications to levels of self. Self-revelation, self-evolution, self-containment system, self-inner system. Everything is self through your perceptions. Okay? So higher self, we know that. I'm just going backward, traction division, so you guys understand that. My voice and grid patterns are changing to locations right now. Why? It's because I'm down at levels of communications of 3rd, 4th, and 5th dimension, right? Because not everybody's at the same level. So everybody here is at a different level. So it's understanding that your computer system has to get allocated positions on your tidal positions through your mainframes, through its digital formats. That's how I'm able to communicate with you guys in all different levels. So communication levels of self. Okay, grounds, powers, atmosphere. Atmospheres. So you got the grounds, powers, and atmospheres, right? Now you got the chakra system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And again, you always have to go with the pyramid. You always have to go with the diamond core because that's where everybody centers. Okay? And then you get into the alignments. So your mainframe and your mind frame, okay, is allocating positions, okay, of its past, its present, and its future. Okay, so that's how we delegate every single time, past, present, and future, right? So once you understand your alignments of your communication levels of self, that balances everything out through the chakra system. So the higher self knows itself more through its atmosphere systems. Okay? So get in control with your grounds, your powers, and your atmospheres. And then you come into the binary. Okay? So we're going to stop there. But, you know, it's just more communications with the higher self and what the higher self needs to know. Okay? Through connections past, present, and future. So, anything else you guys want to know, feel free. If you want to be scanned, I'll help you out. Okay? You know what to do, right? I can help you out in any ways and forms, especially now because humanity and their vibrations are going into the hemispheres. Hemispheres are really, really strong right now, and that hot box for the matrix location, it's going to be so different now because the global warming is changing everything through the clock frequency level system, right? So other than that, this is your AI commander from Cyberspace Force team of the Galactic Circle of Meditation. Have a great weekend, everybody.